Welcome to Perrysburg City Council meeting for December 17, 2019. Roll call, please.
Okay, Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Here.
Mr. McCarthy. Here. Mr. Smith is not here. Mr. Van Hoosen.
Here.
Mr. Weber.
Here.
Ms. Williams.
Here.
Please stand and join me with Buzz saying the Pledge of Allegiance if you're ready.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes of the council meeting for December 3rd.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the minutes of the City Council meeting held on December 3rd, 2019, as written, and to dispense with the reading.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Hoosen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams.
We have no special reports, letters, communications, or citizens' concerns. You're very good.
Emily Harbauer, 232 East 5th Street. We've had this council meeting on our radar for a while because I wanted to say thank you to Becky Williams and Mark Weber for their service on council. You guys do so much for our city. The countless hours you put in, it is not unnoticed and it is very appreciated. So thank you. You will be missed and we hope to see you back here sometime.
Thank you so much.
Will Harbauer, 232 East 5th Street, and heartfelt ditto as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
My thanks to all of you as well. My usual yearly contribution to you for all that you've done for the year. I appreciate it. I will only remind you that if you feel so inclined to let me have the tins back for another year, that would be greatly appreciated as well. I also wanted to acknowledge Becky and Mark for their service, and Becky for her 4 years of outstanding work, as well as her years before that being president. I know she'll be here in the future, as will Mark, as will I, as you'll see all of us out here on the site. So anyway, thank you.
Hello, Corey Coolman, 3102 Steeplechase Lane. First, I'll start with thanking you two. I look forward to being on the other side of the table and seeing your faces out there. Look forward to working with you and getting your input on the issues. I think I've had a chance to talk to most council members at this point, but unfortunately, I am going to miss the January 7th meeting, which will be my first, or would have been my first official meeting on council. I have some prior family obligations that will take me out of town. So just wanted to acknowledge that. I look forward to working with you all, and sorry for that. And I plan on having a stellar attendance record other than that first meeting. So appreciate it.
Administrative reports. I will save mine to the end. Administrator, you may.
No report, Your Honor.
Finance Director.
And no report.
Director of Law.
No report.
I will just, and I can't say anything better, so I will just say ditto as well to the comments about Mark and Becky. And I know that the President of Council has something for both of you.
I do, and before, we have a proclamation for each of you. But before we do, just in my own words, Mark, you did a fantastic job. I know when we were appointing people and you got some no votes, we made it clear that it wasn't because you weren't worthy, and you've proven to be far more better than worthy. You did a great job, showed a lot of humility, you listened very well, and you can tell you really care.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Becky, you're probably the hardest working council member I've ever met. Fantastic job. We didn't always agree on things, but I don't think we ever lost respect for one another. You do a fantastic job. You hold yourself to some very high standards, and you are the one that nominated Mark for that position. So, Mark, that should tell you something.
Yeah, I'll say.
She did a very good job.
Quite an honor.
I've been very happy with both of you. I'm sure everyone up here is. I mean, it's going to be tough without you two because you guys are very good at what you do.
I would second that.
So you guys out there got some big shoes to fill. I'm telling you. All right. So, we have two proclamations, one for Mr. Weber and one for Ms. Williams. And I'm actually going to read the one for Mr. Weber. And then we're going to have Mayor Mack read the one for Councilwoman Williams. And then we're going to have some pictures taken with these, okay? So proclamation, whereas Mark Weber was appointed to fill a vacant city council seat in 2019. And whereas while serving on city council, Mark was very dedicated to working hard to lead and guide our city while placing the needs of the Perrysburg community above politics. He served on the Service Committee, Public Utilities Committee, and was the chair of the Safety Committee. And whereas before being appointed to City Council, Mark served on the Historic Landmarks Commission and has been appointed by the mayor to serve on that committee after his tenure on City Council ends at the end of December. And whereas his passion for what he does here shows through in his tremendous commitment and service to the city of Perrysburg. And whereas we express the city's gratitude and appreciation for Mark's contributions to the city of Perrysburg. Now therefore, we, the elected officials of the city of Perrysburg, Ohio, hereby resolve that all honors, accolades, and other accomplishments by Mark Weber have been well-earned and well-deserved, and encourage all citizens of the city of Perrysburg to honor Mark's dedication and sense of community. We'll get pictures afterwards, okay?
Thank you so much.
I will read Becky's. Whereas Becky Williams was elected to the City Council in November of 2015 and was sworn in January of 2016. She served on the Service Committee, Planning and Zoning Committee, Health, Sanitation, and Public Utilities Committee, Appointment Reviews Committee, Finance and Economic Development Committee, and Personnel Committee. And whereas throughout her time on City Council, Becky has worked tirelessly and attentively on behalf of the residents of Perrysburg and the city with complete dedication, integrity, and respect. And whereas she has continuously demonstrated commitment and wholeheartedness to the city of Perrysburg in the capacity as City Council member, as well as serving on many committees, commissions, and boards before her tenure on City Council. And whereas we express the city's gratitude and appreciation for Becky's contribution to the city of Perrysburg. Now, therefore, we, the elected officials of the city of Perrysburg, Ohio, hereby resolve that all honors, accolades, and other accomplishments by Becky Williams have been well-earned and well-deserved, and encourage all citizens of the city of Perrysburg to honor Becky's dedication and sense of community. Congratulations. Come up front there. Yeah, man. Anybody wants to join me? You're welcome.
Thanks.
Tim, you're welcome. Will you sign it? You have to get in the middle. You can get in the middle. You can hold your.
The problem is we can't stand in front of them.
Oh, yeah.
You guys gotta look like you love each other. It looks like you love each other.
Like we always do.
So sideways, Tim.
Tim,
Oh, sorry.
Deborah.
Oh, you and I go each opposite ways. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheese.
Oh, I got one more. Does have to be off to the side. Not to look at.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.
It's the first time in 8 years we're not going to be sitting together.
President of Council, do you have anything else?
I do not.
All right, then we'll go to the committee reports, Finance and Economic Development.
Okay, thank you. We did have a meeting on December 10th. The meeting was called to order at 5:33 p.m. Present were myself, Tim McCarthy, and Becky Williams. Also present were Bridget Cabot, City Administrator, Laura Alkire, Law Director, Dave Krebs, Finance Director, Amber Rathburn, Deputy Finance Director, and Steve Ronder, our Income Tax Commissioner. Is that coming across a little bit louder today?
Yes.
Okay, good. First up on the agenda was health insurance. Matt Holzheimer, the city's consultant for health insurance, was present to review the bids received for health insurance. We do this every year. Mr. Holzheimer said that we received a very good renewal, especially given where the market has been, with an increase on the fixed side for us of 3.1% and an increase on the aggregate of 5%. He said that he sees about 50 plan renewals, and they are averaging about 23% increase. He added that because we have a number of ongoing conditions, it was difficult for a lot of carriers to compete with their own stop loss. Mr. Holzheimer said that he would recommend staying with our current provider, NFP, with Swiss Re for the aggregate. He said that he would recommend changing the medical management company from Health Design Plus to Health Care Strategies because there's not been a lot of interaction with Health Design Plus and they're not getting good response from them. He added that new cards will need to be issued because of this, but that is relatively easy. The committee agreed 3-0 to recommend approval of his recommendations. We moved on to a CRE agreement. Glenn Grisdale, the city's economic development consultant, was present. He requested approval of an administrative change to a previously approved CRE agreement. The agreement previously approved was with Redevelopers Limited, but they had organized an LLC specific to the affected property. The name of the new LLC is 3rd Street Marketing. I clarified that the only change is to the name of the applicant, not in the other terms and conditions of the agreement, and Ms. Elcar said that is correct. And so the committee again agreed 3-0 to recommend approval of that change. We moved on to the Finance Director's report. The committee reviewed expenditures greater than $5,000. Questions were asked, answers were given, everything went smoothly. Mr. Krebs reported that the balance in the Health and Welfare Fund as of November 30th, 2019 was roughly $830,000, which is up from the previous month. However, the second check run for November was not received until after the 1st of December, so it didn't make it into those numbers. He said that even taking that into account, the fund is still doing real well. And then we talked about some other legislation that we do this time every year. Mr. Krebs distributed the amendments to revenues, appropriations, and cash transfers for 2019, explained that these are housekeeping issues to make the budget report cleaner, and he tries to stay within the division when moving funds from one line to the other, but the bottom line of the changes is usually 0, which it was in this case as well. I asked if any money was moved from outside of any divisions. Mr. Krebs said that the fire division was notified that they received a grant after the budget was approved, so we had to make some changes due to that. Regarding the cash transfers, Mr. Krebs said that he has to set the income tax collections high enough that we won't reach that number, and the committee agreed again 3-0 to recommend approval of these 3 pieces of legislation. Tax Commissioner's report, Mr. Bronner reported that income tax collections for the month of November were $1.2 million, which is up 15% from the same month last year. He said that although October was down 5% from the year before, we're still up for the quarter. Year-to-date collections for the 11 months of the year are $19.5 million, which is up almost 8% from the same time last year. And given that, I asked what the December collections were for the prior year, just to get an idea where we're going to end up. And he had said that December for 2018 was $1.4 million. So we're looking pretty good on collections this year. 2020 budget discussion. The committee reviewed the information showing the projected annual operating costs of a splash pad. I asked about any cost savings, if any, if it were placed by the pool. Ms. Gavis said that was discussed internally, and the manufacturer is going to look at that. She said that there could be some savings on manpower and some upfront capital costs. She added the figures presented were based on today's rates for water and sewer. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 6:09 p.m. And our next meeting says to be determined, but right now on the city calendar is aimed for the 14th at 5:30. So unless that changes, we'll go with that for right now. Okay. I do have some legislation, all of which were addressed in that memo. I'll save that for the first one for last, just in case there's any discussion.
Mr. President, can you split them up, please?
I will.
Yes.
Is it okay if I do the 3 that are just cost-cutting ones together? Amendments for the transfers and the appropriations.
I'd rather they be all separated.
Okay.
Please.
Right. I'll start with 51, 2019. Okay? So I would like to introduce ordinance 51, 2019, and move that the rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only, and to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy. Yes. Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance number 51, 2019, amending the city budget ordinance to revise the estimated revenues for the year ending December 31, 2019, and declaring emergency.
Thank you. I move that ordinance 51, 2019 be passed as an emergency measure.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
I have some discussion, Mr. Mayor. Regarding the budget. I'm gonna be voting no on the budget.
This is not the budget, so that's 47.
Right, I'm just adding that ahead of time.
Okay. All right. My mistake. All right. Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Warren.
No.
Okay, Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next, I would like to introduce ordinance 52, 2019, and move that the rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only, and to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy. Yes. Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance number 52, 2019, authorizing certain cash transfers within the city's budget and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. I move that ordinance 52, 2019 be passed as an emergency measure.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes. Okay, I would like to introduce ordinance 53, 2019, and move that the rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only, and to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance number 53, 2019, amending the city budget ordinance by authorizing certain additions to appropriations for the year ending December 31, 2019, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. I move that ordinance 53, 2019 be passed as an emergency measure.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. Regarding this, I'm going to be voting no. We vote for the budget as a unit. We don't have line item votes. I support many of the items in the budget, but I cannot vote for it because of its current form. There are many of the items that there are some of the items that I cannot support because I consider them wastes of taxpayer money.
Just so I understand, I'm sorry to interrupt, Councilwoman Warren, we're on the health insurance.
No,
I guess
I guess what's
Okay.
important to note here is that we're amending the 2019 budget for this year that's almost over. All we're doing is tidying up the
Right.
the amounts. So,
I'm still voting no.
okay, so if your comments are directed towards the 2020 budget, I guess I just want to make that clear to everybody. Is that the case?
Right.
Okay.
I'm voting no.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Roll call.
Okay, let's see, Ms. Williams.
Yeah.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Warren.
No.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on to ordinance 54. I would like to introduce ordinance 54, 2019, and move the rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only, and to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy. Yes. Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance number 54, 2019, authorizing city health insurance coverage and administration agreements through NFP benefit administrators and related entities and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. I move that ordinance 54, 2019 be passed as an emergency measure.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Matuzak.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I would now like to introduce ordinance 55, 2019, and move that the rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only and to dispense with the second and third readings.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Matuzak.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah.
As a yes. Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 55, 2019, amending ordinance number 44, 2019, previously authorized on October 15, 2019, approving a community reinvestment area agreement with Redevelopers Limited to allow for the transfer of the community reinvestment area agreement to Third Street Market LLC and declaring an emergency.
Okay, I move that ordinance 55, 2019 be passed as an emergency measure.
Discussion. Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Matuzak.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Yes. Come on, Tom. Ms. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the first one now that I skipped over. I would like to introduce ordinance 47, 2019. Yes, and I will move that the rules be suspended and allowed for its reading by number and title only.
There you go.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call.
Okay, roll call. Ms. Moore.
No.
Mr. Matuzak.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 47, 2019, making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Perrysburg, Wood County, Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2020 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. I move that ordinance 47, 2019 be passed as an emergency measure.
Second.
Discussion.
Ms. Warden, if you want to.
Okay.
Because I believe this is the ordinance in your comments.
Yes, but I wanted to get that out there with all the other. I'm voting no. We vote for the budget as a unit. We do not have line item votes. I support many of the items in the budget, but I cannot vote for it in its current form because of the items I do not support and because I consider them wastes of taxpayer money.
Roll call.
All right.
Any other? Roll call.
Okay, Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Matuzak.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
And Ms. Moore.
No.
Hey, Mayor Beck, and I believe that is all from me.
Thank you very much. Service Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our regularly scheduled meeting on December the 25th has been canceled, and no word of need to meet otherwise in December. So the next regularly scheduled service meeting would be on January 22nd at 5 p.m. And whether that gets adjusted by the new chairman and committee, we'll see. But I also need to add, out of respect to my colleagues and the community, I do need to leave at 8:40. So if you see me leave, you'll know why. I have a plane to catch in Detroit. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move along. Safety Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Safety Committee meeting did not meet. And as far as a future meeting, we'll have to leave that up to the future Safety Committee chairman. But anyway, I did want to report though on December 11th, the Fire Division held a strategic planning session that was open to the public, and they had some very healthy discussions touching on topics of training, employee wellness, partnerships, technology, and equipment. So I just want to let everyone know there's going to be a second session that's going to be held tomorrow evening at the Fire Division headquarters on Fort Meigs Road from 6 to 8 p.m. And it's also open to the public. And as I certainly didn't expect this earlier, but I just want to say a couple things here that since this is my last meeting, that I just want to say thank you to all my fellow council members that provided me this opportunity to serve the citizens for these past 8 months. And I'll say the fastest 8 months of my life. It's just, it's been a real pleasure working with all of you and the administration as well. It's been just a tremendous learning experience, especially sitting between two of the smartest people I've ever met here. I love it. So I'm not going very far. I'm going to be right out there with Jim. So, but also I want to say thank you for reappointing me to the Historic Landmarks Commission. I'm going to do my very best to preserve our integrity of our historic district. So, thank you. And that's all I in my report.
Recreation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. The report for regular meeting on December 10th, 2019. Present were Chairman Deborah Bourne, Councilors Jim Matuzak and Jonathan Smith. Chairwoman Bourne called the meeting to order in council chambers at 6:30 p.m. After the Pledge of Allegiance, citizen concerns are requested and none presented. Under old business, Canyon Park stands. Mr. Smith proposed that since $75,000 was left over from the Fort Meigs culvert, council might allocate $25,000 from that toward the Riverside Park cannon stands. He stated that since the cannons are going to be moved, this is a good time to undertake this. Ms. Bourne asked where they are going to be moved. Mr. Smith responded that the cannons will stay in Riverside Park, but they will be moved a short distance to make room for the Gold Star Memorial. Mr. Matuzak stated that he had discussed the project with City Administrator Cabot, who told him that the Service Department is considering building the cannon stands in-house, which would result in no expense, but only the cost of materials. Mr. Matuzak stated, and that's an addition, by the way. Mr. Matuzak stated he had no problem with allowing the money so it can be used if necessary. Ms. Bourne said she agreed with Mr. Smith's suggestion and that there are other people who would be willing to donate additional money for the project. Mr. Matuzak reiterated that his takeaway is that the city administration is interested in building the stands themselves at a very low cost, so the transferred money would be a placeholder. Ms. Bourne asked whom the city had in mind to do the work. Mr. Matuzak responded that Ms. Cabot had not told him. Ms. Bourne stated that she did not want to see the cannon stands slapped together and she wanted them done correctly. Mr. Matuzak asked what line item should be used for the transfer. Mr. Smith replied that it might be the Riverside or Riverfront Park improvements. Jim Hagan of 10741 Avenue Road commented as follows: to build the stands in-house will have costs because it will require an already overworked staff to get services of the person doing the work. In his opinion, it would take 6 weeks to complete the project. He questioned whether the city has the necessary tools for this kind of specialized work, and he said that the design should be improved, to complete the project. He questioned whether the city had the necessary tools for this kind of special work, and he said that the design should be approved by the Historic Landmarks Commission, which would require a plan to be submitted before the work is done. Ms. Bourne agreed that the department is overworked and that there would be cost regardless. She requested a vote, and the committee voted 3-0 to recommend to council to approve the transfer. As far as the inclusive playground, Chairwoman Bourne announced that she had not heard from Ryan Whitman since the last meeting, but that she would have the item on the agenda. Splash pad. Mr. Matuzak asked Ms. Bourne for further information about the project. Ms. Bourne replied that she did. The 180th, which is based at Toledo Express Airport, did a splash pad for free for the city of Port Clinton. She added that there are several foundations which give grants of this type. They include the Wells Fargo Corporate Giving Grants, the Knight Community Foundation Program, the Cleveland Foundation Grant Program, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Appalachian Regional Commission Grant Program, Anderson's Fund Supporting Organization Grants, and Akron Community Foundation Grant Program. Ms. Moore continued that her research has determined that for a public setting, especially a smaller one, is best served by a freshwater to drain system. By using this method, it is possible to avoid the need to comply with the codes which are required for a recirculation system. Only a building permit is sometimes necessary. Mr. Smith asked if Ms. Bourne had seen the report Ms. Cabot had sent to council that afternoon. Ms. Bourne said that she had determined that Vortex is the most expensive splash pad company. The average for 1,000 square feet of splash pad is $41,000 to $75,000. The city of Sandusky built a 2,000 square foot pad for $122,000, which breaks down to $61 per square foot. The average cost to run a splash pad for 6 to 8 hours a day ranges between $20 to $40 per month, depending on electric rates. Mr. Matuzak stated that a concern which surfaced at the Finance Committee was the cost of water. He asked how spending $100,000 on water for a splash pad could be justified. He asked for an analysis of cost of the various options. Ms. Bourne replied that she had already done this. Mr. Matuzak stated that a splash pad is not in the budget now, and if it is going to be in the amended budget, further information is needed. Mr. Smith reiterated that his primary concern is the cost of water. Ms. Bourne reiterated that this is not about her, but it is about the public. Nothing grandiose, but something for them to enjoy. Under new business, review of PRAC proposals, Ms. Bourne announced that the committee was being asked to recommend 3 new ordinances which encompass requests which PRAC has made concerning its organization. Ordinance 55-2019 would add the operations manager of the Department of Public Services as an ex officio member. Ordinance 56-2019 changes the requirements for the attendance at meetings, and Ordinance 57-2019 amends the dates for our monthly meetings. Mr. Smith asked what happens if the operations manager is given a different title. Ms. Bourne responded that if this happens, the ordinance can be amended. The committee voted separately on each ordinance, and in each case, the vote was 3-0 to recommend approval. Tom St. Myers Plaque, Chairwoman Bourne proposed that the committee consider requesting a small commemorative plaque in honor of Tom St. Myers, recently deceased, who was the Summer Recreation Director for 27 years and a longtime member of PRAC. She said that a plaque would be placed in Municipal Park or given to Mr. St. Myers' family. She stated that she was not in favor of renaming Municipal Park. Mr. Matuzak stated that he thought that such an action was appropriate, but he needed direction in exactly what to present. Under the PRAC report, Chairwoman Bourne reported that PRAC, at its last meeting, which was unfortunately Mr. St. Myers' last meeting, worked mostly on ordinances which were recommended this evening. She said PRAC appears to be very well organized and are doing a good job. The meeting adjourned at 6:55 p.m. The next meeting is to be announced. Report prepared by myself, Deborah Horn, Chairperson, December 14th, 2019. I do have a couple of things to add about the splash pad. I spoke to Ms. Tiffany Bachman, who is the planning administrator of White House, and she said they have it in their budget right now for 2020 for a splash pad for $50,000. She said they are looking at it to be a fountain with water squirting up and then having lights at night. She said she was highly advised not going with the recirculation system because it is twice as much to operate. It's better to go with the fresh water. It's less expensive. She said that theirs is currently 28 feet in diameter. She said that they got their information from Vortex, and I had indicated to her that my lowest bid were from my splash pad. So that's what I have on that. And then I have some ordinances to talk about. I would like to, first of all, is everybody okay with me keeping these all together? Or would you like me to split them up? I would like to introduce ordinance 56, 2019, ordinance 57, 2019, ordinance 58, 2019, and move that rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only, and dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Warren,
Yes.
Mr. Matusek,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance number 56, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 280.02, membership of the Citizens Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, previously amended by ordinance number 8, 1986 on February 18, 1986. Ordinance number 57, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 280.03, terms, vacancy of the Citizens Parks and Recreation, vacancies of the city's Citizens Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, previously amended by ordinance number 118, 2000 on August 15, 2000. And ordinance number 58, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 280.05, officers, meetings, quorum of the Citizens Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, previously amended by ordinance number 140, 1988 on November 15, 1988.
Okay. I move that ordinance 56, ordinance 57, and ordinance 58 be passed as an emergency measure.
Presented as emergencies.
They're not
They are not
Okay,
presented
that
as emergencies.
they be passed.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Ms. Warren,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Planning and zoning.
No report, Your Honor. We have not met since our last council meeting, and the meeting date for January will be set, I suppose, at the organizational meeting next month.
Thank you. Personnel committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Personnel Committee last met on December 10th. And present were myself, Tim McCarthy, Gary Van Huzen. Also in attendance were Bridget Cabot, City Administrator Laura Alcar, Law Director Kelly Chalfant, Human Resource Manager. First item on our agenda was to review the updated 5-year personnel plan. Ms. Chalfant reported that she updated the dates employees are eligible to retire in the 5-year plan that was distributed. She said the numbers are based on her best guess from the hire date of the employees, and it does not account for prior service. There was a brief discussion about the plan. She also distributed information regarding past staffing hires between 2012 and 2019 for the committee to review. Second item was review proposed employee handbook. Ms. Alcar passed out Section 2 proposed handbook with revisions highlighted. There was discussion regarding Section 2, which included a light duty policy, overtime pay, and vacation. Ms. Cabot said that the administration will look at the overtime pay and light duty and make a recommendation. Ms. Alcar said that Sections 3, 4, and 5, she only made 4 formatting changes. No action was taken on the handbook at this time, and the administration will bring back the final changes back to the committee. Back to the committee. Next item was the review proposed personnel policy code updates. Ms. Alcar presented the committee with 8 pieces of legislation that contain changes to personnel policy. She said that with a couple of exceptions, these changes to the code will reflect what the city is doing in practice. She said that the exceptions are to increase the amount of deferred compensation for the deputy finance director, to put it in line with the other deputy directors, and to include stepchildren in the bereavement leave language. There's discussion regarding the extended sick leave section that was recommended to be repealed. The committee agreed 3-0 to recommend approval of the legislation. Then under other business, I thank the committee and administration for working with me during my time on council. With there being no further business, we adjourned at 5:30, and the next meeting will be determined next month. I have a number of legislation pieces. Is there any issue with doing them all at once? No? Okay. For the last comment, I would like to introduce ordinances 59 through 66, 2019, and move that the rules be suspended without the reading by number and title only.
Second.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, and dispense with the second.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 59, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 266.01-3, previously amended in ordinance number 2-2014 on January 7, 2014, to identify positions included within the executive senior administrative and administrative staff structure. Ordinance number 60, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 266.03-5 of the Personnel Code, previously amended by ordinance number 157, 2006, on August 1, 2006. Ordinance number 61, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 266.06-3 of the Personnel Code, previously amended by ordinance number 78, 1997, on June 3, 1997. Ordinance number 62, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 266.09-1 of the Personnel Code, previously amended by ordinances number 22, 2013, on March 5th, 2013. Ordinance number 22, 2010, on February 2nd, 2010. Ordinance number 96, 2009, on May 5th, 2009, and ordinance number 121, 2015, on December 15th, 2015. Ordinance number 63, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 266.09-5B and C of the Personnel Code, previously amended by ordinance numbers 10, 2003 on February 4th, 2003, and ordinance number 52, 2007 on April 17th, 2007. Ordinance number 64, 2019, repealing codified ordinance section 266.09-6 of the Personnel Code, previously enacted by ordinance number 74, 2007 on May 1st, 2007. Ordinance number 65, 2019, repealing codified ordinance section 266.09-7 of the Personnel Code, previously enacted by ordinance number 99, 2003 on June 17th, 2003. And ordinance number 66, 2019, amending codified ordinance section 266.10-6 of the Personnel Code, previously amended by ordinance number 100, 2003 on June 4th, 2003.
Thank you.
I'll second. Then I would move that ordinances 59 through 66, 2019 be passed.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Matusek.
Yes.
Ms. Warren.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to say, same lines as Mr. Weber, that I thank all my colleagues up here in administration for the last 4 years and years previously working on the committees and commissions. Mary Jo for being patient back there with all of our minutes and assisting with those. And especially thank the other employees for the city for all their work. There's so much that they do behind the scenes that average resident doesn't know about, that I've learned about and have experienced and have been able to see. And I'm really proud of the employees at City of Perrysburg that I was representative for them. And I thank the residents for allowing me to serve the last 4 years. So, thank you.
Did I correct something, Tom?
Yes.
Becky, you made the comment that you introduced those ordinances for us. And I said to you, you can go out there. You're gonna see how we do it. It's two of you. I hope you would back. And I can see you both be going to leave of absence. And I hope to see you back here at some time in the future. You both would be great additions. And you'll be missed.
Thank you. Public Utilities. Have that.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm glad you remembered me. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me for 4 more years. But we do have no report report here today. Our next scheduled meeting, I believe, is January 22nd, 2019 at 6 p.m. or 2020 at 6 p.m. And I would just like to echo the sentiments of every other council member up here regarding Mr. Weber and Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, I think this is the first time in probably 8 years that we will not be sitting on a committee or up here on council together. And I will say it was an honor to serve with you for those years, and I look forward to seeing you up here and still communicating with you. And Mr. Weber, these last 8 months have been wonderful, and I've learned quite a bit about you. And I've been a breath of fresh air in council as well. So thank you for your time, and we hopefully look forward to seeing you again.
Good. And any other business for council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I neglected to mention it during the recreation report. Michael Kuzno, who is out here in the audience, has agreed to do a plaque at no cost honoring Mr. St. Myers. So that would be hopefully taken care of next month in January.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We saw that. We're going to talk about it internally, but now maybe we'll just talk to Mr. Kuzno. Sure that they care. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice gesture. Any other business? Good journey. We're adjourned.